if Mitch McConnell had the votes to avoid a trial in the Senate, he would. Now, he would need 51 Republicans to vote not to hold a trial, and I think that's a bridge too far for a couple of these Republicans. I don't think they can be a part of doing something that is so extraordinary as preventing a trial that has been sent from the House in an impeachment. But he has some latitude to maybe not call witnesses. Now, it's sort of unclear because John Roberts comes over and has some authority in these trials, but I don't know that he has authority to set the rules. So we will see what Mitch McConnell does. But remember, the point is these senators are supposed to be impartial jurors and hear the case. And theoretically, if they don't think there's enough information that has been presented, they have the ability to call more people. Senate can do whatever it wants in terms of like bringing in people. If they want to bring in Hunter Biden, they can bring in Hunter Biden.
Matt Gaetz versus Hunter Biden.
Gaetz wouldn't be there, I don't think. But if they want to bring in
a broader contest,
if they want to bring in witnesses, they can do it. But apparently the Republicans are not doing that. You know, people say, like I said, my dad, who, you know, is not a political junkie and is, you know, sort of a liberal, but is, thought when Donald Trump was going to get, was elected, like, oh, don't worry, the adults in the Republican Party will take care of him. And I said to my dad, what adults?
Settling a lot of scores with Dad
exactly.
today.
Well, he called me the other night. He goes, what's wrong with Lindsey Graham? He's really turned into a piece of garbage. And
if you'll recall, Dad,
yeah,
I told you.
Exactly. Check one for Sam. Guess Dad loses this one. Well, here is Lindsey Graham on Face the Nation.
The president has said he's heard you out on the merits of a short Senate trial, but he's going to do whatever he wants, he says. Should Republicans in the Senate really be taking their marching orders from the person being investigated?
You know, I understand the president's frustration, but I think what's best for the country is to get this thing over with. I am clearly made up my mind. I'm not trying to hide the fact that I have disdain for the accusations in the process, so I don't need any witnesses. The president can make a request to call witnesses. They can make a request to call Mike Pence and Pompeo and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. I am ready to vote on the underlying articles. I don't really need to hear a lot of witnesses.
Yeah, there you go. He's already figured it out, folks. He was one of the House managers in Clinton's impeachment. And boy, they had to really dig into that. We're going to need to hear a lot of testimony about how in the deposition he said, what's the definition of sex is, and that in fact he wasn't including a BJ as sex. And this deposition that had nothing to do with what the initial investigation. We're going to need a lot of witnesses. We're going to need a long, protracted trial about that.
But a whole generation of millennials got to know about sex and sex-related things from that detail.
What will we tell the children is what we heard over and over again in those days,
Like,
folks.
I'm really ambivalent about it because on the one hand, obviously bad. On the other hand, I might still not know some of these things.
No idea
Lindsey Graham
could be used that way.
Lindsey Graham saying, I don't need any witnesses, foregoing the opportunity to bring in Hunter Biden, which would crack this whole thing wide open. I mean, remember, the Republicans believe, if they don't believe Donald Trump did anything wrong, they believe there was a massive scandal coming out of Ukraine. Right. And the idea that you wouldn't use this opportunity to dig into that is sort of surprising, isn't it? That is Lindsey Graham wanting to avoid a protracted trial in the Senate. Is it Exhibit A that impeachment is going to hurt the Republicans, and it does hurt the Republicans?